Did you know that African armies decisively defeated European colonial powers decades before World War I? The history of warfare in Africa is far richer and more complex than commonly portrayed. From repelling ancient invasions to resisting the scramble for Africa, African warriors displayed remarkable ingenuity, resilience, and tactical brilliance. This is the story of those battles, those victories, and the legacy they forged. We begin in the highlands of Ethiopia, March 1, 1896. The Battle of Adwa. Emperor Menelik II had mobilized a massive army, over 100,000 strong, to confront the invading Italian forces led by General Oreste Baratieri. The Italians, confident in their superior firepower, marched into a trap. Menelik's forces, though wielding a mix of spears and modern rifles purchased from Europe, outnumbered the Italians nearly 10-1. More importantly, Menelik had ensured a logistical advantage, with thousands of pack mules carrying ammunition, exceeding the Italian supplies. The battle was a resounding victory for Ethiopia. The Ethiopian army inflicted devastating casualties, effectively ending Italy's colonial ambitions in the region. Adwa became a symbol of African resistance, inspiring Pan-African movement and solidifying Ethiopia's independence. The impact resonated across the continent and the diaspora. Now, fast forward to 1880, Basutoland, modern Lesotho. The Gun War. The Basotho people, under the leadership of King Moshoeshoe II, faced the might of the Cape Colony. The conflict arose from attempts to disarm the Basotho, who had acquired firearms through trade. The Basotho, masters of their mountainous terrain, proved to be formidable opponents. Employing guerrilla tactics and utilizing natural fortifications, they inflicted heavy losses on the Cape Colony troops. One key engagement took place at Mafeking, where the Basotho captured a significant amount of weapons and supplies from the British. The war ended in a stalemate, with the Cape Colony forced to retreat and recognize Basotho autonomy. The Basotho not only preserved their independence, but also significantly strengthened their arsenal with captured British rifles. Let us journey to South Africa, January 22, 1879. The Battle of Isanwena. This was a stunning Zulu victory against the British Empire. 20,000 Zulu warriors, under the command of Nshimweyo Komoho Khoza, overwhelmed the British force of nearly 1,800 soldiers. The Zulus employed their classic buffalo horns formation, encircling and decimating the British. The British suffered heavy casualties, losing over 1,000 men and a significant amount of weaponry. The victory at Isanwena sent shockwaves through the British Empire, exposing the vulnerability of its forces against determined African resistance. However, the victory was short-lived. The British soon reinforced their troops and ultimately defeated the Zulus later that year, but Isanwena remains a testament to Zulu military prowess. The Second World War brought new battles to North Africa. The first and second battles of El Alamein in Egypt, in 1942, were crucial turning points in the North African campaign. In July 1942, the first battle saw Allied forces, under Lieutenant General Claude Ohenlek, halt the advance of Owen Romel's Africa Corps. This prevented the Axis powers from capturing Cairo and gaining control of the Suez Canal. Months later, in October, General Bernard Montgomery launched a major offensive, leading to the Second Battle of El Alamein. The British and Commonwealth forces decisively defeated Romel's forces, driving them out of Egypt and marking a turning point in the war. North African soldiers fought bravely alongside Allied forces, playing a vital role in the liberation of their own lands. The Siege of Tobruk, in Libya, also stands out. For 241 days in 1941, a garrison of Allied soldiers, including the 9th Australian Division and the Polish Carpathian Brigade, withstood relentless attacks by German and Italian forces. The defenders of Tobruk, despite being heavily outnumbered, held their ground, preventing the Axis powers from advancing further into North Africa. The Polish soldiers, many survivors of Siberian exile, earned a fearsome reputation for their tunneling tactics, becoming known as the piercing rats to Romel's forces. But the story of African battles extends further back in time. Consider the Zemin Mesafint, the era of princes in Ethiopia. During this period of internal conflict, numerous battles were fought between rival warlords vying for power. The three battles of Sabakusa in 1771 saw Emperor Teko Hamenot I consolidating his authority through military victories. These internal conflicts, though often overlooked, played a crucial role in shaping the political landscape of Ethiopia. Further back still is the little-known story of Nubian resistance. In 642 and 652 AD, the Nubian kingdom of Nobesha, modern Sudan, repelled incursions by the Arab Rashidun Caliphate at Dongola. The Nubian warriors, known as the Blemis, were skilled archers, employing poisoned arrows to devastating effect. These victories led to a treaty that fixed the Nile as the border, preventing Arab expansion into Nubia for centuries. The influence of Islam was delayed in the region until the 13th century. Finally, we turn to the War of the Golden Stool in 1900, in what is now Ghana. The Ashanti people fiercely resisted British attempts to seize the Golden Stool, a sacred symbol of Ashanti nationhood. The Ashanti, refusing to surrender their cultural icon, launched a rebellion against British rule, resulting in heavy casualties on both sides. Though the British ultimately suppressed the uprising, the Golden Stool remained hidden, never captured, symbolizing Ashanti resilience. These battles, along with countless others, represent a vital part of African history. They demonstrate the agency, ingenuity, and unwavering spirit of African peoples in the face of adversity. From the victory at Adwa to the resistance at El Alamein, these stories deserve to be told and remembered. The legacy of these battles continues to resonate today, shaping national identities and inspiring future generations. These conflicts shaped borders, influenced military doctrines, and fueled movements for independence. They provide a counter-narrative to the often one-sided portrayal of African history, highlighting the continent's rich military heritage. Why do you think these battles are so often overlooked in mainstream historical narratives?